videos we're going to take a look at how to practice the modes in the context of the 3 common chord progressions that we're studying. What this means in effect is that for each chord of the progression we will be playing all of the notes in the key, but starting and ending on the root note of the chord in each case. So before we begin, it's probably worth asking the question, what is the point of doing all this? Well, there are several potential benefits. First off, you will be developing dexterity, strength, speed and stamina in the fingers while practicing finger movements of a musically relevant kind. And furthermore, if you practice the exercises in a number of keys and positions up and down the neck, you will gradually become comfortable with moving around the fretboard of the guitar, becoming accustomed to the dimensions and proportions of the neck, the change in size of the frets as you move up the fretboard, and of course the various points where you need to take account of the different tuning of the B string. But perhaps most importantly, if you familiarise yourself with these patterns in all of the keys, or at least all the keys that you regularly play in, then once you know what key you're in, you'll be able to play with confidence in key in any position without having to stop and think where the sharps and flats appear in the key signature. And this applies whether you're improvising a lead line or solo, reading a piece of music from a score, learning a piece by ear, or composing a brand new tune. For this session I'd like to take a look at one example of some open position fingerings for the major key 1-4-5 progression, and as this is a new topic I'm going to return once more to the key of C major. This means our one chord is going to be C major or C major 7, and the appropriate mode is the Ionian mode, which as we know is simply the major scale. So this begins with C at fret 3 string 5, the major second D, the open string 4, the major third E, fret 2 string 4, the perfect fourth F at fret 3 string 4, the perfect fifth G on the open string 3, the major sixth A at fret 2 string 3, the major seventh B at fret 4 or open string 2, and the octave C at fret 1 string 2. The 4 chord is F major or F major 7, and the mode for the 4th degree of the major scale is the Lydian mode. This is our major scale altered by the inclusion of a sharpened or augmented 4th. So from the F at fret 1 string 6 we have the major second G at fret 3, the major third A on the open string 5, the augmented 4th B at fret 2 string 5, perfect 5th C at fret 3 string 5, major 6th D, open string 4, major 7th E, fret 2 string 4, and the octave F at fret 3 string 4. In the upper octave, from the F at fret 3 string 4, we have the major second G on the open string 3, major third A, fret 2 string 3, augmented 4th B at fret 4 or string 2, perfect 5th C at fret 1 string 2, major 6th D, fret 3 string 2, major 7th E, the open string 1, and the high octave F at fret 1 string 1. The 5 chord is G or G7, and the mode for the 5 chord is the Mixolydian mode. This is our major scale with a flattened or minor 7th, corresponding to the minor 7th in the dominant 7 chord. So here for G we have the root G, fret 3 string 6, major second A, open string 5, major third B, fret 2, perfect 4th C, fret 3, perfect 5th D, the open string 4, major 6th E at fret 2 string 4, the minor 7th of F at fret 3 string 4, and a G on the open string 3. In the upper octave, the major 2nd of A, fret 2 string 3, major 3rd B, usual fret 4 or open string, perfect 4th C, fret 1 string 2, perfect 5th D, fret 3, major 6th E, the open string 1, minor 7th F at fret 1, and the octave G at fret 3. And from here you can practice the modes following the chord progression in exactly the same way that we did with the arpeggios and pentatonic scales. That is, with the modes ascending, with the modes descending, and finally with the modes played back and forth. Just one more point I'd like to make before we move on. We now have a pattern of 7 notes, that's a full mode, played over each chord. Given that our chords are 3 or 4 notes, that means that each mode contains at least 3 notes which don't appear in the chord. As I said in our discussion on pentatonic scales, the non-chord tones usually feature in melody or lead lines as passing notes, that is of fairly brief duration and on unstressed or weak beats. There are of course exceptions if you want to use a note in the melody to expand the harmony or perhaps create a temporary dissonance for dramatic effect, but more often than not the non-chord tones will be used to connect together 2 of the chord tones or perhaps to help make a transition from one chord to the next. The flip side of this is if you're starting from the melody and want to create a set of chords to accompany it, then if there's a strong accent or a sustained note in the melody, then normally you will choose a chord which contains the melody note, or at least harmonises with it, for example a triad chord played underneath a 7th in the melody. The next video is going to take a look at some transposable fingerings for these 3 modes in our usual 9 positions on the fretboard. So until then, thank you for watching and please come back soon.